You were promised wealth. What you got was hope. And hope is expensive. Think about it. Every time you scroll, someone is showing off the life you deserve. Screenshots of bank balances, cars you'll never touch, passive income streams that somehow still demand all of your time. Post whispers, do what I did and you'll be free. Except it's a trap. Here's the thing: nobody shows the bill. Nobody tells you about the late nights, the burnout, scams, the accounts that disappear overnight. They sell you dreams while quietly draining your time, energy, and self-belief. And yet, you keep believing. Video is not for dreamers. It's for the people who are tired of being fooled. Tired of thinking that later will solve everything. Tired of buying courses, PDFs, and templates that promise the moon while delivering dust. Let me be clear, there is no shame in being fooled. The shame is in not realizing it, continuing to pay for the lie. See, we live in a world that glorifies motion over progress. If your social media feed is full of, look what I'm doing, you feel productive. You feel hopeful, you feel alive. But here's the cold truth: motion is not progress. 1,000 posts, 100 screenshots, 10 courses, they don't mean you're winning. They mean you're buying the illusion of winning. Fast money, quick fixes, side hustles that promise 6 figures in weeks. None of it works the way it looks. If it did, you wouldn't be here. And that's the brutal interruption. Most people quit right before growth begins. They quit because reality is ugly. Learning takes longer than motivation, because they believe the lie that success is easy. Do you know what that does to your identity? It splits you in two. One version of you believes in the dream, in hope, in the life you're supposed to have. That version scrolls, clicks, subscribes, pays. The other version, the real version, knows you're spinning in circles. You feel it deep down. Every late night, every empty click, every almost. Success whispers, isn't enough. That tension, that's where the truth lives. And that tension is uncomfortable because it forces you to choose. Do you want hope or results? Results don't come from screenshots or posts or shiny ads. They come from learning, repetition, discipline, and discomfort. They come from sitting with failure over and over until you finally get it right. Here's what most people don't see: the journey isn't glamorous. It isn't flashy. It isn't instant. And it certainly isn't for everyone. It's for the people who are willing to face the brutal truth that every easy path you've been shown is a lie. The real path will hurt. That the real path will challenge you. That the real path will make you feel like quitting again and again. But there's hope too. Not the cheap, ready kind. The real kind. The kind that comes from finally knowing the rules of the game and playing them with honesty, skill, and patience. Money isn't a thing. Fast money isn't a thing. Fast freedom isn't a thing. And that's the beauty of it, because it means anyone willing to stop chasing illusions, anyone willing to learn, anyone willing to persist, can beat the system. So why are you still here? If you've watched this far, it means part of you knows something isn't right. Part of you is tired of being sold hope. Part of you is ready to see the truth. And that's exactly what you're going to get. You're about to see the reality that most people refuse to face. That the life you see online is curated to manipulate you. That the systems promising freedom are designed to keep you dependent. That success without mastery is a trap. That chasing shortcuts guarantees you'll be left behind. Harsh, it's uncomfortable, it's terrifying. And that's why most people will click away. Because facing the truth requires courage. It requires mental toughness. It requires breaking the autopilot that's been programmed into you since day one. Here's another truth people hate. You don't need more motivation. You need less distraction. You need less noise. You need less hope sold as reality. Hope is expensive because it keeps you buying what doesn't work. Hope keeps you scrolling, consuming, wishing, keeps you waiting. The people who win don't wait, they don't scroll, they don't hope. They act, they fail, they learn, they repeat. They face reality, not fantasy, and eventually they win. That's what this video is about. That's why it exists. Because if fast money worked, this video wouldn't exist. Instant wealth was real. Nobody would be tired, frustrated, burned out, or broke. Nobody would need to be told these truths. But here you are, and the question isn't whether you'll succeed. It's whether you can handle the truth. Because the truth is uncomfortable. The truth is ugly. The truth is the first thing you must face if you want to change everything. And right now, you're at the edge of it. You can step back, close this video, go back to scrolling, back to hoping, back to the illusion. Or you can lean in, swallow the harsh reality, and start playing the long game that everyone else is too scared to play. Because the lie ends here. The illusion ends here. This is the brutal interruption. the wake-up call. The point where hope stops being your master and reality becomes your ally. The people who survive this part, the people who truly change, will never look at life the same way again. And the people who don't will keep paying for hope, day after day, year after year, until one day they realize they've wasted more than just money. They've wasted time, potential, and you don't get that back. So decide now. Decide whether you're ready to face the truth, or whether you'll stay in the comfortable lie, pretending that wealth, freedom, and control are just around the corner. Because here's the final cliffhanger: if fast money worked, this video wouldn't exist, and the fact that it does means the game has already started. The question is simple: are you ready to play, or will you keep being played? Look around you. Someone is selling the promise of fast money. Not by accident. Not because life just happens to be unfair. No. This was engineered. From lotteries to online gurus, society has spent decades training you to believe in shortcuts. To believe that wealth, freedom, and success can be bought, clicked. Think about it. How many times did you hear, just invest in this scheme and you'll be free? How many ads told you, only 5 spots left? Or, everyone's doing it, don't miss out. This isn't marketing, it's manipulation. It's a psychological system designed to make you desperate, make you act, make you hope. Here's the truth: they don't sell money, they sell escape. Escape from your 9-5, escape from failure, escape from your own doubt. And the crazy part, we've been conditioned to chase it since childhood. Think about lotteries, scratch cards. Win big, risk nothing. The message has always been the same: wealth is instant and magical. You just have to believe. Fast forward a few decades, and the same formula is online, amplified by algorithms and social proof. Influencers flashing luxury cars, screenshots of bank accounts, passive income claims, lifestyle freedom. Every post is carefully crafted to trigger the part of your brain that dreams of a life without struggle. Desperation became a business model. Every time you scroll, you're being fed a narrative: if you just follow this, everything will change. And it works because your brain is wired to respond to the psychological triggers they've baked into every pitch: scarcity. Only 10 spots left. Your brain hates missing out. You pay. You hope. Social proof. Look at everyone else who made it. If everyone else seems successful, your brain assumes you're missing the obvious path. The crowd, even when the crowd is manipulated. Urgency. Offer expires tonight. Your brain's fear of loss kicks in, and you act before thinking. Fake transparency. Just enough to seem honest: screenshots, testimonials, charts. Your brain relaxes, lowers its guard, and you believe it. Get rich fast. System online uses these levers. Every guru, every shiny ad, every promise of passive income is a calculated nudge at the parts of your brain that want instant reward. And here's the frightening part: it works. Your brain is not built to handle complexity. It's built to respond to cues, triggers, and shortcuts. It wants easy wins, instant results, and certainty. It loves hope. Hope feels like control. And the algorithm knows this. Social media, search engines, ad networks, they don't reward truth. They reward dreams. They reward engagement. They reward what makes you click, share, comment. So the lies get amplified. The illusions get bigger. And you keep scrolling, hoping that this time it's real. Let's be clear: fast money was never real. Not in the way they sell it. The life you see in screenshots isn't a reality, it's a carefully edited illusion. The car, the house, the laptop on the beach, they are props. They are signals designed to make you feel like success is possible without discipline. And yet, here's the kicker: the lie only works because it's tailored to how you think. Your brain wants rewards before effort. It wants shortcuts before mastery. It wants stories over systems. And when the world keeps feeding it these stories, the deception becomes invisible. You don't notice you're being manipulated. You think you're chasing opportunity. That's why lotteries succeed. That's why online courses sell thousands of copies in days. That's why every secret method you've seen promises the same thing: instant freedom. And every time someone fails, the blame is placed on them. You didn't try hard enough. You weren't committed. But the reality: the system is designed to make you fail. System profits from your hope, your desperation, and your trust. It's not personal. It's systemic. It's engineered. But there is hope, not the cheap, fake kind. The real kind comes from seeing the mechanics for what they are. From recognizing the lie and understanding why it worked on you in the first place. From realizing that the world didn't just hand you false promises by accident, it built a machine to exploit your biology, your psychology, and your emotions. Money lie isn't about money at all. It's about control. about keeping you chasing illusions while others profit from your attention, time, and energy. And here's the truly scary part: most people never realize it. They never stop, they never question, and they never learn. They keep running on the treadmill of hope, thinking the next secret method will finally deliver them. But now you know. You've been trained, yes. But training can be unlearned. Conditioning can be broken. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. The question is, will you let the lie continue to shape your life? Or will you step off the treadmill, face reality, and finally start building something that lasts? Because understanding the manipulation is one thing. Acting against it is another. And that's where most people fail. They know the lie exists. They even understand the psychology behind it. But they don't change. They don't act. They remain stuck, waiting for someone else's shortcut to magically solve their problems. Here's the truth: no one tells you no shortcut, no guru, no ad, no algorithm, no flashy screenshot will ever replace the work, the discipline, and the mastery required to truly succeed. Fast money is a fantasy. Fast freedom is a fantasy. Fast mastery is a fantasy. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start building real, lasting results. So remember this: they don't sell money. They sell escape. Escape feels good until you realize it's actually a trap. The system is designed to keep you chasing hope, not results. Chasing illusions, not reality. Chasing what you think you want, not what you actually need. And that's the scary part. The lie only works because of how our brain is wired. Let's get something straight right away. If you've fallen for the fast money lie, it's not because you're stupid. You didn't fail because you lack intelligence, drive. You failed because the system knows you're human. And humans are predictable. We are wired for instant gratification, dopamine hits, quick wins, easy rewards. Why the flashy promises work even on smart, disciplined people, even on those who should know better. Think about it: you study, you work, you plan, try to be rational. Yet every time a shiny new opportunity appears, your brain whispers, this might be the one. Why? Because consistency feels boring. Doing the real work, repetitive, discipline-driven work, feels like nothing. Day after day, tiny gains, incremental progress. It's invisible, it's unsexy. Meanwhile, the shortcut sparkles, promises dramatic change overnight. The illusion is irresistible because it taps directly into your brain's reward system. And here's the cruel part: get ahead makes it worse. Comparison culture is toxic. Social media, friends, colleagues, everyone is on display. Their wins are visible, slow progress isn't. Your failures are magnified. You feel behind, you feel pressure. You feel time slipping away. That pain, the sense of falling behind, exactly what keeps you chasing the lie. Maybe this last course, maybe this last system, maybe this last investment. You tell yourself one last try, finally get it right. The problem is, it's never the last try. It's always one more. And each try hooks your brain deeper into hope, excitement, temporary dopamine hits, masking the real work that actually builds results. It's emotional spending, but with your attention and energy instead of money. Every click, every almost success releases a tiny hit of pleasure and keeps you hooked. And time blindness makes it even worse. We underestimate how long mastery takes. We overestimate how quickly shortcuts can work. We forget that real growth, the kind that lasts, requires months, years, even decades of consistent effort. The irony: smart people see the math. They know they're being manipulated, and yet they fall for it anyway. Because intelligence doesn't protect you from your biology, doesn't erase your desire for immediate reward. Awareness doesn't remove the pull of hope. You're not weak. You're human. That's the emotional release you need to hear. You didn't fail because you're weak. You failed because the system knows you're human. Think about it. Engineered to exploit these tendencies. Algorithms feed your cravings. Influencers show curated results. Ads trigger urgency and scarcity. And you're reacting exactly as they designed you to react. It feels personal, but it isn't. It's structural. It's psychological. And most people never see it. Why so many smart, capable people keep repeating the cycle? They chase hope. They burn out. They get angry at themselves. They try one more secret solution, and they fail again. But here's where it gets worse: the pain of comparison, the temptation of shortcuts, and the illusion of one last try create guilt, shame, and anxiety. Questioning yourself. Am I lazy? Am I not good enough? Why do I always fail? All lies. Manufactured lies. The truth is, the only thing you failed at is believing that the world's promises were real, that the system was on your side. That hope alone was enough. Once you understand this, sets in real anger. Because nobody tells you this, not your friends, not your mentors, not success coaches. But what you're about to hear next will make you even angrier. Because it's not just a lie of shortcuts. It's a lie of identity. The world wants you to believe that your worth is tied to instant results, that your success is defined by visible wins, flashy posts, and dramatic stories, that if you're not winning immediately, you're failing at life. And that belief, it destroys more people than any scam or scheme ever could. It keeps you anxious, keeps you chasing hope, it keeps you exhausted, and it keeps you paying attention to everyone else's highlight reel instead of building your own real progress. But here's the thing: smart people don't realize the slow, boring, consistent work is the escape from the trap, not instant success, not shortcuts, not shiny promises. Real freedom comes when you stop looking for one last try and start building systems, discipline, and habits that compound over time. And that's the step most people never take. Habits are invisible. Effort is invisible. Results are invisible, at least at first. The human brain is cruel in that way. It wants evidence immediately, wants reward immediately. And until it gets it, it screams, nags, and begs for the next dopamine hit. That's why the fast money lie is so irresistible. The only thing that feels like progress when you're actually stuck in place. But here's the truth no one tells you once you see the trap for what it is. Once you understand why you fell into it, you can finally break free. You don't have to beat your brain at every impulse. You just have to understand it. Recognize the triggers. Redirect your energy. Focus on what matters. And that's exactly what we're about to dive into next. Because now that you know why smart people still fall for it, you're ready for the real lesson: how to stop being human in the ways that hurt you without giving up your intelligence, drive, or ambition. And trust me, when you hear what comes next, it will make you angry. Angry that nobody told you this. Angry that you wasted so much energy chasing illusions. Angry that the system has been exploiting your humanity all along. Good, that anger is the spark. The same spark that can finally drive you toward mastery instead of hope. Mastery isn't exciting. It isn't flashy. It isn't fast. But it's real and it's waiting for you. Let's be honest, chasing fast money doesn't just fail. It leaves scars, ones. Invisible ones. Ones nobody posts about online. Think about the time you wasted. Months, maybe years, chasing the next system, the next course, shortcut. Every restart felt like a fresh start. Every shiny promise whispered, this time it will work. And yet, nothing changed. Those lost years aren't just numbers on a calendar. They're opportunities never taken. Habits never built. Skills never mastered. Time you'll never get back. Then there's the damage to your confidence. Every failure, every dead end, every screenshot that promised freedom and delivered nothing chips away at how you see yourself, doubting your abilities. You start questioning your intelligence. Why can't I figure this out? Am I just not cut out for success? It's a slow erosion, silent, but it accumulates. And over time, it shapes how you approach life. You begin to avoid risks. You second-guess decisions. You hesitate when opportunity appears. And the financial scars, those are obvious. Not just the money spent on courses and systems, but the compounding cost of inaction. Every failed shortcut delays the real work. Every false hope keeps you from building something tangible. Trust, that gets destroyed too. After a dozen failures, questioning everyone. Gurus, mentors, friends, even yourself. You hesitate before investing time, energy, or money because you've been burned before. And that caution, while understandable, often keeps you from the real opportunities waiting outside the trap. And let's not forget the silent burnout. Nobody posts screenshots of exhaustion. Nobody posts late night anxiety while watching your bank balance shrink. Nobody posts the restless nights wondering if you're doing everything wrong. The world only shows the highlights, the success stories, the lifestyle photos. But the pain, the worst part, this kind of failure is different. Failure without hope hurts less. You try, you fail, you move on. But failure after being sold hope is brutal. Because hope isn't neutral, it's addictive. It inflates expectations. It lulls you into a false sense of progress. When it crashes, it doesn't just sting, it shatters. This is the hidden damage: lost years, broken confidence, financial scars, trust issues, self-doubt, a mind trained to quit. And that's the hard truth. Get rich quick doesn't just fail, it trains you to quit. It trains you to believe that effort is useless. Trains you to look for the next easy win. It trains you to abandon projects the moment they require patience. It trains you to value illusion over reality. And that, more than anything, is why most people never escape the cycle. They're not unambitious. They're not lazy. They've been trained to quit. Every shiny course of instant solution. Every passive income ad was a small lesson in giving up. Subtle, almost invisible, but effective. It rewires your mind over time, teaching you to chase hope instead of building results. Now, if you felt this way, if you've burned out chasing shortcuts, I want you to hear this clearly. It wasn't your fault. You were playing the game you were shown. You were reacting to triggers that were designed to exploit your brain. But here's where it stops. You can rebuild. You can reclaim the years. You can repair the confidence. You can learn to trust yourself again. You can start to feel capable, powerful, and in control. First step is understanding that shortcuts don't work, not for anyone. Not for the smart. Not for the disciplined. Not even for those lucky enough to see momentary success. Shortcuts are smoke and mirrors. They're illusions wrapped in excitement, sold as liberation. But they leave you weaker than before. So what actually works? If shortcuts don't, that's what we're going to uncover next. Because after seeing the hidden damage, after feeling the weight of lost time, burned confidence, shattered hope, you don't just want a solution. You need a foundation. Something real. Something lasting. Something that can't be taken away by the next shiny promise. And that's where mastery begins. Here's the truth: no one tells you real wealth is boring. It's not flashy. It doesn't come with screenshots, Instagram posts, flashy cars on beaches. It doesn't arrive in a viral TikTok or a shiny course. In fact, at first it's invisible. You show up every day, you grind, you repeat, you fail, you learn, and no one notices. But slowly, quietly it compounds. Skills accumulate, knowledge deepens. Decisions improve, confidence grows. Every tiny effort, every small victory, every disciplined choice stacks on the last, like bricks forming a foundation beneath the ground, is the invisible power of real wealth. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It protects. It lasts. It compounds quietly until one day, results are undeniable. Here's what most people get wrong: they chase speed over substance. They chase applause over mastery. They chase shortcuts over systems. And that's why most people stay broke, anxious, and frustrated their entire lives. Real winners don't rush. They understand that the fastest way to wealth isn't the easiest way, the slowest way, the most disciplined way, the path that makes the loud promises of instant freedom seem foolish in comparison. The real formula is simple, popular. One valuable skill, master it. Not just superficially, not just enough to look good online, deeply. Until it becomes something people can't ignore. Ignore the noise. Ignore the distractions. Ignore the last shortcut that promises freedom overnight. Build systems that last months, years, decades. Repetition without applause. Do the work even when no one sees it. Do the work when it's boring. Do the work when failure is all you feel. Because that's where results are born, where compounding happens. That's where the invisible becomes undeniable. And the mindset shift is everything. Slow growth is invisible until it isn't. You don't need to impress strangers. You don't need viral fame. Real wealth isn't about showing off. It's about protection, freedom, and control. It's about making decisions that safeguard your future, your family, and your peace of mind. Here's another truth: nobody markets this. Gurus avoid it. Courses avoid it. Ads avoid it. Because slow, disciplined growth doesn't sell. It's not exciting. It doesn't give people hope in 30 seconds or a dopamine hit in a click. It doesn't produce screenshots to post online. But that's exactly why it works. The system of real wealth isn't flashy. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't have to impress anyone but you and the people who depend on you. And when the foundations are solid, it survives everything: the market crashes, the trends, and the hype. Here's what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck: patience and persistence. It's not luck. It's not genius. The quiet discipline of showing up, learning, practicing, and compounding your skills over time. It's resisting the allure of instant gratification, last try, scam, and committing to a system that doesn't reward hope, it rewards effort. Slow, invisible growth is the only kind that lasts. And it's the kind that eventually makes shortcuts meaningless. Now, let me leave you with a truth that decides who wins and who stays stuck. The difference between wealth that disappears overnight and wealth that protects you for life isn't money. It's mindset. It's discipline. It's commitment to mastery. It's the choice to play the long game when everyone else is chasing instant results. The people who win are the ones who build quietly, consistently, without applause, compound their skills, their knowledge, their networks, and their freedom until one day they wake up, look around, and realize they're untouchable. Meanwhile, people who chase fast money, they keep restarting, they keep hoping, they keep burning out, and the cycle repeats because hope is addictive, short-term thinking is comfortable. So ask yourself, which path are you on? Are you still chasing hope? Or are you building mastery? Real wealth isn't about flashing success. It's about quiet power, invisible progress, unshakable freedom. It's boring at first, painful at first, unstoppable once it compounds. And here's the final reality: there is no shortcut, no hack, no miracle. There's only consistent effort, learning, and patience. That's the unpopular truth. And now that you know it, the choice is yours. Keep chasing illusions, or start building something real. Slow growth is invisible until it isn't. And when it finally hits, the results are permanent, undeniable, and yours forever. If you've made it this far, let me be real with you: you're different than most. Most people would have clicked away by now. Most people are still scrolling, still hoping, chasing the next shiny shortcut that promises freedom overnight. Not you. If you're still watching, it means you're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not incapable, done being lied to. And that alone sets you apart. Let's take a moment to reflect on what you've just seen. We started by exposing the brutal interruption, the lie that was sold to you as hope, but was actually a trap. Screenshots, cars, passive income, quick fixes, all illusions designed to make you chase instead of build. Then we uncovered how the world was trained to make you believe in fast money. Lotteries, online gurus, social proof, urgency, fake transparency. It wasn't random, engineered. Every algorithm, every ad, every course was built to exploit the human brain. Next, we explored why smart people just like you, still fall for it. Dopamine addiction, comparison culture, time blindness, emotional spending, the illusion of "on last try." You didn't fail because you're weak, failed because the system knows you're human. Then we confronted the hidden damage that nobody talks about. The lost years, broken confidence, financial scars, trust issues. Silent burnout that eats away at you while the world posts highlights. The harsh truth: get rich quick doesn't just fail, it trains you to quit. After that, revealed the unpopular truth about real wealth: slow, invisible growth, compounding skills, long-term focus, repetition without applause, wealth that protects, not impresses, uncomfortable reality that mastery is quiet, boring at first, but unstoppable once it compounds. And now here we are, the final wake up. All of this isn't just theory, it's your life. The lies, destroyed, the illusions, shattered, the shortcuts exposed. And the future, that's yours to define. Success is no longer about chasing applause. It's no longer about comparing yourself to the highlight reels of others. It's about building something real, something that lasts, something that protects your freedom, your family, and your peace of mind. The real path forward isn't easy. It's not exciting. It's slow. It's steady. It's invisible. Here's the truth that changes everything: slow growth compounds. Effort stacks. Skills accumulate. Discipline creates freedom. Patience pays off in ways that shortcuts never could. So speak to your future self. Imagine yourself 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Which version do you want to be? One still chasing hope, burning out, repeating the cycle? Or the one who finally learned the rules of the game, built quietly, and now enjoys unstoppable momentum because of it? The choice is yours. And here's an identity statement to carry with you. If you're still watching, you're not lazy, done being lied to. Hold on to that. That clarity is power. That awareness is your edge. That refusal to be manipulated is the foundation of every success you'll build from this point forward. Now, let me leave you with something practical, something simple, something you can act on today, like this video if it felt real. Subscribe for honest content, not hype. Share it with someone you know who's chasing shortcuts and getting nowhere. Do it not for validation, but because you're choosing action over hope. You're choosing mastery over illusion. You're choosing yourself over the lies the world has sold you for years. And finally, the line that should stick with you: won't make you rich fast, but it will make you unstoppable. Remember it. Repeat it. Let it guide your actions. Because everything else, the scams, the shortcuts, hope, will fade. But knowledge, discipline, and self-mastery, they compound, they protect, they make you unstoppable. So go forward, build quietly. Fail, learn, repeat, grow every day. And when the world tries to sell you hope, you'll recognize it for exactly what it is: a distraction from your real work. The wake up is complete, are gone. Your choice now is simple: stay asleep or step into the real game. You've already made the first step by watching. The rest, that's on you. And when you do it, when you embrace slow growth, when you commit to mastery, when you focus on real wealth, nothing will ever touch you again. Unstoppable isn't flashy. It's invisible, it's disciplined, it's real, and it's yours.